Obviously, there was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin.
Terminated. Simulation terminated.
Let's watch my favorite part again, shall we?
Ivermectin? A dewormer? Really?
But
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. What is the #1 virtue that is completely lacking in the totally decimated American journalism industry? I think you'd make a lot of good arguments, but truth would be the virtue that I would choose. They don't tell the truth, and therefore people don't trust you. If you want to establish trust with any human being, you need to first not lie to them and hurt them and prove you're going to harm them. Just like CNN proved that it wished to harm Joe Rogan. Why did they do that? Well, when CNN was being paid boatloads of money, mountains of money by Pfizer, they decided to run hit pieces where they doctored images of Joe Rogan to make him look sicker when Joe Rogan got COVID-19. That's because Joe Rogan was somebody who advocated other potential treatments for COVID-19. And so CNN attacked him and changed entire exposure on his face, like added a sick-looking filter. Joe Rogan posted this. This got nearly 1 million likes. This is Joe Rogan's original post, and this is what CNN put up on their broadcast. This is what they did to try and smear, one of the many times they tried to smear and slander and destroy Joe Rogan. And then they had their little simps for power, cretins in the corporate press, their buddies, like the AP, right? No evidence video color was manipulated in CNN news segment. No evidence. Notice in this article that they never show photos. So this is the Associated Press, right? And there are photos of Joe Rogan on TV and then photos of Joe Rogan on his social media. You can see it right here, right? Where they've made him all like grainy and yellow and sick looking and like all the darks and all the saturation in the face. It's all gone, all gaunt, right? They did everything they possibly could to make Joe Rogan look like he was on death's door. Yet the AP doesn't even put the before and after photo in his article. Look at this. It's like completely remarkable. There should be no more CNN, obviously. Joe Rogan should have sued them for defamation over the number of provable, demonstrable lies that they peddled about him because they view him as a threat and they wanted to slander him during COVID-19 and use that as an opportunity to do so. But we will probably never get that lawsuit, but we will get some cold comfort, some silver linings here, with CNN's former top anchor, Chris Cuomo, getting a public beatdown on Patrick Bet-David's show via comic and libertarian and Joe Rogan's close friend, Dave Smith. Now, this happened on Friday night, and we weren't able to clip it fast enough, and so we bring you some highlights right now. It's an amazing, amazing volley, a barrage, actually, a wartime barrage from Dave Smith defending his friend Joe Rogan. You're going to love this. Long overdue. Watch.
But listen, you told me I should apologize. So what do you think I should apologize for? And then I'll tell you what I think you should apologize for.
I know what you think I should apologize for. Obviously, there was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin. I don't like
You did it.
No. Okay,
yes, you did.
Find the clips.
But, dude, find the clips. You shamed Joe Rogan.
Find the clips.
You said he's taking horse dewormer. You and Don Lemon were chuckling at each other about it.
No,
I'll go find
first
the
of all,
clip.
you just saw the clips.
I watched
I'm
it.
not chuckling. I'm listening to Don. But
No. The
here's
clip
point.
I'm talking about wasn't on there, and
Here's-
it's absolutely
look, we
there.
were
Here, do we have it? Hold on. Let's play the clip.
Go ahead.
Injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. Oh, my God. What person? You know, you talk about, like, cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer, Really?
They are shaming themselves.
That's
No one
what it
has
is.
to shame them. They're shaming themselves.
So you're taking a dewormer right now.
This
Chris.
is
Chris,
a
you can't
dewormer.
apologize for that.
This-
You weren't being clear that it was this,
right.
and you know that, dude. You're being so dishonest right now, man.
I'm not
You
being
were talking
dishonest.
about Ivermectin, the drug. You were not talking about
was-
this version of Ivermectin. Come on,
I
man.
was responding to a situation where we were told that this is what people were searching out to take, and nobody knew what it was going to do to them. Look, I'm taking the drug right now. Obviously, I don't think it's all poison. I stopped calling it the horse drug when, and you can not like it, CNN's chief medical officer, who is Sanjay Gupta, said to me, you shouldn't just call it a horse dewormer. There's a whole legitimate aspect of the drug. I wouldn't use it for COVID-19, but it's not just the veterinary grade. So I stopped calling it that.
So, okay.
And then it went away.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this. One of the best moments during the pandemic was when Dr. Gupta, who was just mentioned, went on Joe Rogan's podcast. For all the days of CNN like demonizing Joe Rogan, they send their top doctor out there onto his show, and he goes, why is everyone on your network saying I'm taking horse dewormer? Ivermectin's not. And Dr. Gupta looked down at his lap and went, yeah, no, they shouldn't be saying that.
So get the clip. Always a great thing when these guys have been on TV and they're so pretentious and they're so pompous. Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo are not at CNN anymore. These guys were they're just so smug and so dripping. But the reason why people don't trust TV anymore. Anyway, you can grab those clips and you can play them back, and it'll haunt these guys for the rest of their lives as they try to make it without the protection of CNN. Oh, it gets worse though. Check this out.
Which was just completely untrue.
Yeah, okay, so to take on what you just said, no, not everyone, and not everyone who gets paid. Joe Rogan is bigger than every single show at CNN combined and gets paid more than every single person at CNN combined. And he was 100% right about this thing through the entire time.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he
No, he wasn't.
Hold on a lot.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get this point out here.
Tell me what he was right about.
Okay, how about, you know what you just revealed last month on Pat's show about Ivermectin?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was saying that, and you were smearing him for saying that.
Yeah.
You literally said he's taking horse dewormer.
Yes.
He should be ashamed of himself. You
Yes.
pleaded with your audience to not take it.
Yes.
Then you come back around and you go, hey, Pat, you know what I just found out? Turns out this thing isn't for animals. Turns out humans are. But Chris,
that's
a
not-
5-minute Google
but that's-
search and you would have known that.
First of all,
how do you not
hold on.
apologize to Joe Rogan?
Listen, do you know who disagrees with you? Do you know who disagrees with you? The people who make ivermectin disagree with you.
Hold on. What do they disagree with me about?
That the drug should not be taken as a standalone for COVID-19.
I never said it should.
That's what Rogan was saying.
No. He did not. No, listen. See, this is the thing, Chris.
Yeah,
That
what
is
is
a
it?
lie. That is
Really?
a
So what did he
blatant
say?
lie.
What did he say?
Rogan. So you just pretended that I said it's a standalone for COVID. No. Here's what it always was. Here's what Joe Rogan said. My doctor prescribed it to me, along with several other medications, just like your doctor prescribed it to you. That's what he said. What I'm saying is that it's not horse dewormer, as you and everybody else at CNN mindlessly repeated.
Now,
what he said, no, let me finish.
Go
what
ahead.
he
But,
said,
you know.
and what I'm saying is that it is a medicine that's been prescribed to people millions and I think billions of times. And it was totally demonized. Why? You already said why. You said it 2 years too late, but you already said why.
No, here's
because
why.
no one owned it.
Here's why. What Pat has on his desk right now, you do not want to take, okay? It is the veterinary grade ivermectin. People were so desperate to get it because they were told it was a panacea. It was a cure-all.
By
that
who? Who told them that?
It was online.
Well,
they
you just claimed
it.
Joe Rogan said it. You claimed I said it. Neither of us have said that.
But, so hold on. So why was there a rush on ivermectin all of a sudden?
Can I tell you my honest opinion about that? Okay, it's that the medical establishment and the corporate media so humiliated themselves that they lost trust with the entire American people. And then, there were some charlatans online who were saying, "Oh, go take this," and they trusted them.
Please, here's what happened. Okay?
If you think Joe Rogan said, "Take any form of ivermectin you can get, and you'll never get COVID,"
I'm not blaming Rogan. Here's what happened.
You should be apologizing to him.
And again,
so powerful. What a great defense of his friend Joe Rogan. It's so great to see that. It takes bravery. It takes truth. It takes somebody actually being willing to do both those things, speak both those things. Dave Smith, again, a pretty rad dude, pretty good guy. What about Chris Cuomo's scumbag brother, who was a COVID tyrant? This exchange was just awesome.
I hear your understanding of the pandemic. I don't agree. I lived it closer than you in many ways, closer than any of you probably in many ways. And there were absolutely mistakes made. The idea that it was a totalitarian regime, that's hyperbole.
All right, can I respond? Because there was a lot there, so I want to try to respond to as much of it as I can.
I didn't mean to flood the zone.
No.
Take it one by one.
We can go one by one. Okay, first of all, when I describe the lockdowns that swept this nation in 2020 as totalitarian, just to be clear, I'm not being hyperbolic. When you're waking up every morning to watch your TV, to find out from your governor what you're allowed to do today, including am I allowed to go to work? Am I allowed to have a funeral for my father? Am I allowed to see my family? Am I allowed to step outside without a cover on my face? There is one word and one word only for that, and that is totalitarianism. I'm sorry. That's not slightly hyperbolic.
But the number one time that Chris Cuomo got bodied in this exchange was here, when Chris Cuomo had sick audacity to say that Dave Smith can just be wrong all day and there's never going to be any consequences. He at CNN has much higher standards. The lengths to which these people will lie to themselves, it defies all human logic.
You have the luxury of not worrying about what happens when you say what you say. I work for a place that will get a phone call from someone that they care about, okay? It will matter to them. And you can say, well, they work for this 3-letter agency that are all, bad
Chris,
people.
If I had, let me tell you something. This is what's really infuriating about you saying that, right? I understand the pressures at CNN where powerful people could make a phone call and then you could be in a lot of trouble.
No, it's just an accountability proposition.
Here, let's talk accountability. If I had your track record on COVID, I'd be out of business. Period. No one would listen to me anymore. I would have no way of making money.
I would argue the reverse.
I'd be ruined.
I would argue the reverse.
Absolutely ruined.
If you didn't tell people that there were easy ways to get past COVID and that the vaccine was a joke and everything that happened was a joke, I don't think you'd be in business. I think if you weren't doing these things, I don't think you'd have the same platform because it sells very well in digital media.
No, I mean, it's just, first off, I never said the things that you just said. The thing is that, yes, you're right. Me being against lockdowns, against mandates, against the corruption of big pharma, again, yes, that did help.
No,
me,
and the
sure.
vaccine.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to become a lifelong Dave Smith fan, then make sure that you listen to sort of his final synopsis here about the current state of America and who we should be blaming for our problems. Here we go.
We're in a collapsing empire right now, and that's our job is to try to right this ship. But we're in a late stage empire, and that's what America is. And this rarely comes up in corporate media, but the USA is the most powerful empire in the history of the world, and we are the global empire right now. But we're in the very late stages of that with all of the characteristics of a late stage empire. And what are those characteristics? Being way too expanded militarily, being very, very far in debt, and then what ultimately happens after that? The culture devolves into decadence. And that's why things are dumber than they've ever been before. And that's why, you have people, whether it's like a gay pride parade where two guys are like slapping their butt cheeks together and then they're going, we're standing up for our rights. Like, no, you're not. You're not fighting for rights. This is decadence. When you see, if you look back at, say, like William F. Buckley's firing line, when it would be William F. Buckley going at it with Gore Vidal, okay, well, just the level of intelligence there between that and like Sean Hannity going at it with Don Lemon, no offense. There's been a significant fall off. And I think that's what's going on all throughout the country. And what's happening is that the most powerful people are trying to pit us against each other so that we're constantly fighting in a culture war so that we never all get together and realize that, you know what the left wing and the right wing of the culture war have in common? Both of their dollars been destroyed by the Federal Reserve. Okay? But that never gets covered on CNN. You know what I mean? Like I never see like a big segment about that. Hey, how come all those years having the #1 CNN show, not one segment about the secrecy of the Federal Reserve, the secrecy of the CIA? Instead, all we get from the corporate media is I don't know, the unvaccinated, the Trump supporter, the Biden supporter, pitting Americans against each other and all the while blaming the American people for these problems. When that's just not true. Most of the American people are good people. They want to take care of their family, go to work, be a member of their community, try to give their kids a little bit more than they had. That's what, and if we had a better media in this country, they would be laser focused on the halls of power and how corrupt they are. Because man, is there a lot of corruption going on at the top here.
Yeah, it's not fair.